If I were to pick Disney's most constant ongoing theme, it would be following your dreams. Pinocchio dreams of being a real boy, Cinderella dreams of meeting and marrying a prince, Ariel dreams of becoming a human, Belle wants more than her provincial life, Aladdin dreams of being more than a street rat, Tiana dreams of opening a restaurant, Rapunzel dreams of seeing the Festival of Lanterns in person, Moana longs for the sea, and on it goes. Heck, When You Wish Upon a Star is literally the theme song for the entire company. Whether it be due to a fairy godmother or a lot of hard work and determination, dreams do come true according to Disney, and it could happen to you. Except in real life, oftentimes they don't. Few people wind up doing what they dreamed of as a small child, and not many more actually wind up in the field they majored in college. This idea that Disney has presented to us all these years is, for many, not even close to the reality that they live in. In fact, German philosopher Theodor Adorno once stated that Walt Disney was, quote, the most dangerous man in the world because he inspired false hope in so many. It reminds me of the criticisms that Disney suffered in the 2000s, where suddenly everyone was pointing out the flawed and fantastical portrayal of love that most Disney films put on display. Disney apparently brainwashed an entire generation into believing in love at first sight, and those children, now adults, had a bone to pick with this supposedly destructive message. This critique became so common that Disney adjusted, oftentimes lampooning these tropes in their newer movies, poking fun at marrying someone you just met in Enchanted and portraying it as even dangerous in Frozen. However, Disney has not yet faced backlash in this same way in regards to their dreams can come true message. Maybe it's because this is a widespread facet of entertainment in general, not just confined to Disney. From inspiring films like The Greatest Showman or La La Land to reality TV like The Voice, the entertainment industry is flooded with wish fulfillment fantasies, where normal people just like you get everything they ever wanted and live happily ever after. Or maybe we just don't have the heart to tell the kids that watch these Disney movies that they can't be anything they want to when they grow up. That at the end of the day, not everyone gets to be rich and famous, and someone has to wind up cooking the french fries at McDonald's, because that would be an absolutely terrible thing to say to someone, and utterly soul-crushing.
You can't crush a soul here. That's what life on Earth is for.
And if all of this sounds utterly depressing, please hang with me, I'm going somewhere with this. Not everyone gets to achieve their dreams, and oddly enough, there is a Disney film that addresses this, and it's not any of their critical darlings. No, oddly enough, it's Monsters University. This film is often brushed aside because it's an inferior prequel to a far superior film, and because the majority of this film is a G-rated version of Animal House, which is just kind of strange. But I feel because of this, people miss the incredibly mature and thought-provoking story at its heart. Mike Wazowski's dream and its slow destruction. In this film, Mike wants to be a scarer more than anything in the world. He's wanted it since he was a small child. In college, he works his tail off, studying night and day, learning all of the right scaring techniques, but at the end of the movie, he is confronted with a brutal reality. He's just not scary. He has not one drop of talent with which to achieve his lifelong passion. In the same way that no amount of vocal training will ever make me sound like Josh Groban or a professional singer, no amount of studying will ever make up for the lack of raw talent that Mike has. According to this film, some people are just not cut out for certain professions, and this is a lesson that Mike has to learn the hard way. This is a shockingly mature and controversial message for a children's movie, and it taps into a hotly debated topic. How much does raw talent factor into your ability to do something when compared to how much work and discipline you put in? On one hand, there are people who are just naturally beautiful singers. Then there are people like me who can't carry a tune to save their life. On the other hand, there are very few prodigies in the world, and anything worth doing requires thousands of hours to learn. I didn't know anything about filmmaking as a kid, but I've slowly learned over the years, and I've been told that I'm at least fairly good at what I do. On the other hand, I've seen people pick up a camera or sat down to write a script and produce something far better than I ever have with far less experience. They just seem to pick up on it faster than me. So is talent a myth, or is it necessary to have at least the tiniest bit of talent to build off of to become great? Monsters U wrestles with this conundrum, comparing and contrasting Sully's raw talent and lack of discipline with Mike's incredible work ethic and base of knowledge, but utter lack of natural talent. In the end, Mike and Sully realize that they need each other to succeed. Sully has the ability to do the work that Mike so longs to do, but can only do so with the help of Mike as a coach. Mike finds a compromise. Maybe he's not cut out to be a scarer, but he's more than qualified to work in the industry helping scarers reach their full potential. Just because his dream doesn't work out for him doesn't mean he can't find a new dream to pursue. This thought is tackled in Disney's Tangled. In the film, Rapunzel does achieve her dream, but she finds herself frightened at the process, asking herself,
what if it's not everything I dreamed it would be? And what if it is?
Well, that's the good part, I guess. You get to go find a new dream.
These films break from the happily ever after narrative of most Disney films and ask what happens after happily ever after. They answer this question with a simple solution: chase your dreams, and then once you fail or achieve those dreams, you can move on to new ones. But what if there's more to it than just that? Is life just an endless striving for one goal after another until you finally just drop dead? Enter Soul, Disney and Pixar's latest feature, and by and far the best picture of 2020 in my humble opinion. Yet another film about chasing your dreams. The film opens with Joe, an aspiring jazz musician who has worked his tail off trying to find his big break. However, when his dream is finally within his grasp, he dies and has to find a way back to his body before his one chance at achieving his dream slips from his grasp. The majority of the film is devoted to Joe just trying to make it to that one big gig while also helping a newly formed soul named 22 find her passion. And spoilers, Joe's dreams do come true. He makes it to the gig, plays his heart out, and he gets a job doing what he loves. And he doesn't really feel satisfied. It feels good, certainly, but it isn't quite the life-defining moment of completion he envisioned. He's finally achieved his purpose, but he doesn't exactly know how to transition into happily ever after. This moment is contrasted with the character arc of 22, a soul who desperately does not want to go to Earth because it sounds miserable. And let's face it, it's a little hard to refute her claims. Missing a passion, she finds nothing about life on Earth that she really cares to feel passionate about. Like so many here on Earth, she doesn't necessarily have that one thing she wants to do with her life. In Joe's words, the thing that makes life worth living. Joe half-heartedly attempts to help her find her thing, and inexplicably, he does. But she never seems to settle on one thing. What ultimately inspires her to want a trip to Earth is not a passion for music or film or a dream of being someone someday. Instead, it's small things. Pizza, a haircut, live music by the subway, helicopter seeds slowly spiraling to Earth. Her passion isn't a dream she needs to chase, but instead all of the tiny wonders of life. It's here that we find Joe. After years of constantly chasing his dreams, waiting for his life to begin, he finds himself in the spot he's been trying to get to his whole life. So, what now? Dorothea Williams provides an answer.
I'm trying to find this thing they call the ocean. The ocean, says the older fish, that's what you're in right now. This, says the young fish, this is water. What I want is the ocean.
In this moment, Joe realizes that he's been living his life wrong. Dreams are important, but they aren't our purpose. Life is not about chasing a dream or accomplishing our goals. Life is not about the constant striving for more, constantly looking for what's around the next bend. Life is about so much more. It's every moment of every day, time spent with loved ones, a delicious slice of pizza, listening to soulful music on the radio. Life isn't ultimately about the highlights, but the quiet moments in between. Moments of wonder, of pain, of struggle, of joy, love, beauty, connection, faith, hope, and yes, even dreams, all together are the things that make life worth living. In this moment, Joe comes to fully realize this, and he realizes that his life was never on hold waiting for his dreams to come true. He had already lived an incredible life, and he would continue to, living his life to the fullest. So, maybe all of your dreams won't come true. Maybe mine won't either, but maybe that's okay. Because maybe life is more than just wishing on a star. Quick little experiment here. I've noticed that videos where I mention past successful videos do well, so I think it might help with the algorithm. So I'm going to just list off a bunch of them here and see if it helps the video perform. CGI getting worse? Animation is underappreciated. The problem with prequels. Answered, is CGI getting worse? The top 10 best CGI of the decade. Aladdin, how to introduce a main character.